Every single second, your body is pulling off a little miracle. It's creating millions of brand new cells. Cells to heal that cut on your finger, cells to help you grow, and, well, even the cells to create the next generation. This is the incredible story of cell division. It's the tiny, microscopic process that literally makes all life possible. So let's dive in and see how it all works. So here's the fundamental challenge, right? For life to grow, to heal, it has to make exact copies of its cells. We're talking about a biological photocopier, basically. But for reproduction, you need something totally different. You need genetically unique cells. That's more like shuffling a deck of cards. These are two completely different jobs, and they require two completely different solutions. And life's two solutions have names: mitosis and meiosis. You can think of them as the two main characters in this whole story. Mitosis, that's the workhorse. It's constantly making identical copies for growth and repair, and it's happening in pretty much all of your body cells. Meiosis, though, has a much more specialized, kind of glamorous goal: creating that sweet, sweet genetic variety for reproduction, and it only happens in our sex cells.
Okay, let's start with mitosis because it's the more straightforward of the two. This is that biological machine I was talking about, the one that takes one cell and spits out two perfect, identical copies. I mean, it is happening in your body right now as you're listening to this, replacing old skin cells, healing a paper cut, making you grow. It's nonstop.
Mitosis happens in this really elegant four-step dance. First up, in prophase, all the chromosomes bunch up and get ready. Then comes metaphase, where they all line up perfectly, right down the middle of the cell. Super neat. Then, in this really crucial move called anaphase, the identical copies get pulled apart to opposite sides. And finally, telophase. The cell pinches in the middle and divides, creating two brand new, totally identical cells. It's just this beautiful, orderly process.
So, the end result of all that? Two daughter cells that are exact genetic clones of the cell that started it all. And this is exactly what you want for growth and repair, right? I mean, you need your new skin cell to be the same as the one it's replacing. It's just cellular precision at its absolute finest.
But making a whole new person, that requires something completely different. You don't want a clone, you want a unique individual. And that brings us to our second process, meiosis. This is the genetic shuffle.
Meiosis has two huge jobs that make it totally different from mitosis. First, it has to cut the number of chromosomes in half. Why? Well, think about it. It's creating a sex cell that's going to combine with another one, and you've got to end up with the right number of chromosomes in the end. And second, its main job is to mix up all the genetic information to create variety. So how does it create all this variety? Well, early in meiosis, during prophase 1, something pretty amazing happens. The paired-up chromosomes literally swap pieces of their DNA. This is a process called crossing over. It's exactly like taking the genetic deck of cards you got from your mom and the one from your dad and just shuffling them together to create a brand new, unique hand. It's so cool.
And here's the other key difference. Remember how in mitosis, identical copies were pulled apart during anaphase? Well, in anaphase I of meiosis, the entire chromosomes from each pair are separated. This one move, this single step, is what cuts the chromosome number in half. It's actually called a reduction division, and it's the whole point of that first part of meiosis.
Okay, so we've got the theory down. Now let's see meiosis in action. We'll start in males, with the production of sperm, a process called spermatogenesis.
The entire process, from start to finish, takes about 64 days. Yeah. From a single stem cell to a fully mature sperm, this biological assembly line runs for just a little over 2 months. You can really think of this as a process built for mass production. For the first 40 days or so, a stem cell just multiplies and grows. Then, bam, around day 40, those two critical divisions of meiosis happen in just a few hours, super fast. The final 24 days are all about maturation, turning that round cell into the little streamlined swimmer we all recognize. It's like this incredibly efficient factory that just runs continuously from puberty onward.
Now, in sharp contrast to that 64-day dash, we have the process of making an egg, which is called oogenesis. And let me tell you, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon that literally lasts for decades. The timeline here is just astonishing. Get this. The process actually begins before a female is even born. But then it immediately pauses right in the middle of meiosis I. It stays frozen like that for years until puberty. Then each month, one cell wakes up and resumes the process,
only to freeze again at ovulation. It will only, and I mean only, complete its final division if it gets fertilized.
And the selectivity of this whole thing is staggering. A female fetus starts out with around 7 million potential eggs. By the time she's born, that number has plummeted to 200,000. At puberty, it's down to maybe 40,000, and over an entire lifetime, only about 400 to 450 will ever actually be ovulated. This massive cutback is all about ensuring that only the absolute highest quality cells even get a chance.
So, unlike the sperm factory, where one cell makes 4 sperm, in oogenesis, one primary cell results in just one single viable egg. It is all about quality over quantity. And you got to remember that final critical condition. This entire decades-long journey only reaches the finish line upon fertilization. It's just wild.
So there you have it. You've got the rapid-fire photocopier of mitosis on one hand and the decades-long, incredibly selective genetic shuffle of meiosis on the other. When you put them together, you realize that creating and sustaining life is just this incredibly intricate and delicate dance. And, because this dance is so complex, it isn't always perfect. Errors can happen. Sometimes chromosomes might fail to separate properly. That's called nondisjunction. Sometimes one gets left behind in anaphase lag, or a piece of a chromosome breaks off and reattaches somewhere it shouldn't, which is translocation. Seeing what can go wrong really underscores the remarkable precision that's required at every single step for it to go right. This dance of cell division, it really is everything, isn't it? Mitosis builds us and keeps us going, while meiosis shuffles that genetic deck, driving evolution forward and making every single one of us a unique experiment. It is the fundamental engine of life itself. So as you think about this whole process, what part of it strikes you as the most incredible?